Assalamualaikum and good day to doctor and friends. My name is Nur Syafianti binti Zabidin and my metric number is 265428. Now, I will present a lesson and relevant theory related to case 3, which is Asia Pulp and Paper, a balanced balance sheet. There are 5 immediate issues in this case. Number 1 is APP did not disclose the amounts of losses or debt that they had incurred in financial statements. In 2001, APP had announced that the company failed to include loss in its financial statements, and their earlier financial statement for 1997 to 1999 should not be relied upon. Next issue is investors losing faith in management and the financial statements accuracy. This is due to the reason that APP did not disclose the amount of debt in their financial statement. Besides that, investors also stated that the company had indulged in cover-up so that major shareholders were unaware of the true nature of the company's balance sheet. Number 3 is creditors had filed a lawsuit towards APP due to defaults of payment. APP and several of its Indonesian units defaulted on notes from 1994 and 1995 that paid annual interest, and that time the total amount due to all holders of the notes were $989 million, which is including principal and interest. Investors also argued that their debts were supposed to be secured by the defendants' pulp and paper mills. Then, the financial condition of APP is rapidly deteriorating and collapsing. APP had struggled to reschedule their debt since 1997, and they had announced that APP needed 13 years to repay its debt. Lastly, the Wijaya family has majority control over the APP subsidiary, where they own majority voting rights shares through direct ownerships. This situation becomes an issue because the power of the family is greater than the power of outsiders over the management of the company. Thus, this facilitates their affairs to commit any misappropriation of the company's finances without the knowledge of outsiders. Now, we will proceed to the underlying issue. Based on the immediate issues that have been explained before, it can be concluded that the underlying issue is the financial crisis left the companies with large amounts of debt. Because of the large amount of debt that APP had to bear at that time, APP was unable to deal with it and pay their debts to their creditors. As mentioned in this case, there was an Asian financial crisis that occurred in 1997. In August 1997, the rupiah was severely battered and its value began to plummet. The large conglomerates, including APP, were trapped under huge debts as a result of the rapid depreciation of the rupiah. APP had struggled to reschedule their debt since 1997. The company was unable to settle their debts, and this situation made their creditors take action against them by filing a lawsuit. In addition, to attract investors to invest in such companies, APP has decided to disclose the amount of debt in their financial statements. This is because when investors evaluate the financial statement of a company in a state of positive growth, investors will be attracted to invest in the company. Now, we will see theories and tools that related with this case. The first theory that can be related with this case is fraud triangle theory. There are 3 elements in this theory, which are pressure, opportunity, and rationalization. Pressure is a motivator for fraud, and it may come from a variety of sources like personal financial pressure or pressure from superiors. Any of these factors encourage people to defraud others. The incentive for APP to not disclose the amounts of losses or debts in financial statements because they do not want to lose their investors. They recognize that investors play a key and important role in the success of a company. Since APP has problems with their finances at that time, they desperately need more investors to invest in their company. This is because investors will invest their money in the company, and as a result, APP will increase the company's assets. APP realized that their investors will stop investing in their company if investors know the true state of their financial statements and the condition of financial growth. Secondly is opportunity. The word opportunity refers to the circumstances that enable fraud to occur. In other words, opportunity relates to the person who plans to commit the fraud uncovers an internal control weakness and does not believe anyone will notice if he or she takes the money. Any internal control weaknesses such as a lack of oversight offers the fraudster an opportunity to steal. In this case, the advantage that APP has is that the bulk of its management is made up of its own family members. As a result, their plan to commit fraud on their balance sheet is made easier because the fraud is carried out without the knowledge of outsiders. Lastly is rationalization. Rationalization requires that the deceiver must be able to justify his actions in a way that is reasonable for his inner moral compass. In this case, APP might think that their actions were rational, where the debt not disclosed in the balance sheet managed to attract investors to invest in their company. As a result, the company has gained a lot of funds and it will help them to repay their debts. Next, we will move to the second theory, which is utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is an ethical theory that determines right from wrong by focusing on outcomes. In other words, it was actions and policies that should be evaluated based on their benefits. Utilitarianism holds that the most ethical choice is the one that will produce the greatest good for the greatest number. It has been determined that what is morally wrong is right. This can be related with this theory where, although the action taken by APP to not disclose the amount of debt in financial statement is clearly wrong, but from a utilitarian perspective, the action is morally right. This is because, due to fraud committed on the balance sheet, APP managed to attract more investors to invest in the company. If the company discloses the amount of debt in financial statement, of course, investors will not invest in the company, and this will worsen the financial growth of the APP because the source of income is declining. We can see that the action taken by APP has benefited the company because the company is able to gain more funds. Lastly is tool. Tools that can be related with this case is Swot. Swot stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Number 1 is strengths. The strengths are APP had become one of the world's leading pulp and paper companies. It had ranked number 1 in Asia, excluding Japan. The second strength is the company's most significant assets were pulp and paper mills in Indonesia and 4 brand new paper mills in China. Next, we move to weakness. The weakness of this company is the Wijaya family's control has a complex structure. Due to this complex structure, the management of APP become ineffective. Number 3 is opportunities. The first opportunity is APP has the access to low-cost pulpwood fiber in Indonesia. The second opportunity is the company has a wide range of business interests which include pulp and paper and financial services, the last through Bank International Indonesia. Lastly is threats. The threat is due to financial crisis, the rapid depreciation of the rupiah caused large conglomerates in Indonesia to be trapped under huge debts. Some industries, including APP, face falling prices for their product due to declining demand and oversupply. That's all from me. Thank you.